Hey, what's up, guys? Ash here. I have an awesome video today. I don't normally do two pet spotlights in a row for sure, but Hunter Giselle is all the rage right now, and I am leading into her video in the near future, so this kind of just fell in my lap. I'm also going to be updating thumbnails on some of the videos that characters that excel. Like this would be highest damage class, or this would be highest, healing, whatever the heck it happens to be. But without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let me present to you guys Flower Crabmit Aslan, King of Beasts. All right, so I do not take the title King of Beasts lightly. Um, this little guy is absolutely insane. And so we've got a decent pack of clowns here, Renzi along with them. And of course you're gonna see Aslan just basically mow through these dudes like it's absolutely nothing. Um, and this is just his standard combat. He actually, believe it or not, has two attacks, and his modifiers are actually halved because he has two attacks, and he's still killing in one. So he's currently fighting at 50% power. Um, this, of course, is just absolute madness, and if you guys know your clowns, and I'm sure you do by now, the white clowns have, I don't know, anywhere between 50 and like 90% block shred or block. Um, all of this is possible because of him being an Earth ESP user. And it basically allows him to have incredible block shred. I believe at the moment he's currently running either 175 block shred or 200% block shred. And as far as I can tell, nothing in the game can reach that amount, not even close. But this is just hard mode. And so, if this is the King of Beasts, he's got to be able to hang, right? So I've gone ahead, and here we are. Cruel challenge. And if you'll notice, there isn't really much of a change. And that's just how powerful Aslan is. This this is such madness to me. And for him to be just a side character, it's unreal. Like what is happening here? Just it's just wild, and there's really no stopping this guy. All right, so let's take a look at the math. So we're in 50 violent here. I actually use Constrictor Root on Thundercron, which, by the way, roots actually work on Crons and Dustrons, which is pretty cool and very, very different and interesting. So we have Zhao Zai here. Zhao Zai is generally considered the highest block in the game. And if you'll notice, he's shredding 138 with stone throwing, and taunt went off somewhere, so I think Leeton is nearby. But so even if this were at its full, Zhao Zai had 148% block, he would still go straight through it and bring it down to zero. It just, it's just totally crazy. And one of the great things about Flower Crabmit is that you can really make him into whatever you want. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I really enjoy having a pet for the situation. So Volcano Crabmit for long range artillery, or like Snow Crabmit, or Draki for Frost Draki for tanking, what have you. Right here we have basically seeing Flower Crabmit tanking, and you can build him out however you want. But no matter how you build him, he's amazing. And you see natural recovery go off of there. Yeah, there we go. And he has the set bonus in this build, and he gets, I don't know, 12, 1300 health back, comes back up, kills everybody around him. Like this is just, it's totally insane. His base kit is so crazy that they even gave him the ability to heal. Um, it's just that's not a crappy heal either. He just healed Elisa for 8,000. Like, if you want him to play support Bard or something like that, he can do it. That's fine. Also, of particular note, his ultimate is absolutely insane. It's almost like a ranged AoE Kylie reinforced attack protocol. And if you guys look at all the numbers here, all you're gonna see is 100% crit, 100% aim, 0% block, all throughout the board. And funny enough, one Darkness Crabmit lives here. I'm assuming because he got a keen sense or something like that. But like, look how insane this ultimate is. Why would they do that? That's just this is nuts to me. And what the hell? And anything that does live gets rooted and gets bleeding from Blood Moon. So just totally crazy. And believe it or not, he can even do this on machines too. Like you guys saw earlier, we had Thundercron getting constricting roots, and right here, even the Destrons get it too. And he killed all the Bicrons around. Oh, minus this guy. But yeah, his ultimate is not to be trifled with. He doesn't have a multi-hit ultimate, but this is not bad considering what it does. And truthfully, if you wanted to, you could just melee, and if you had counterattack, you could take out a Destron, or at least the white Destron, in one swing of hits. Alrighty, and now we have Flower Crabmit's ability overview. For his basic ability, he's going to have Plague Tongue Strike. A lot of important notes on this, as it is kind of his bread and butter. So one, it is 2 attacks on a basic ability. This does include forestallments. This does include counterattacks. It does count as a dashing attack, so you can move and hit and move and hit and move and hit. Also, you'll notice the modifiers are really bad, 40% attack power, 20% ESP, and that's probably because it's 2 consecutive attacks, and the developers definitely thought, hey, we need to tone this down some. It's also damage type Earth, so there's no physical here, there's no blunt, there's no slashing or anything like that. So keep that in mind when you're using it, meaning things like you can't critical hit Schwartz Destron because of ESP, neutralizing armor, and all that jazz. So, you could, I guess, play around with the idea of Call of Earth. I wouldn't. He's plenty powerful enough, and, this is just something that you'll definitely want to understand as you're building him out. For general abilities, I recommend Heal, Surging Root, Tonks Trim, and Burrow. Communion is just not part of like a combat kit as far as I'm concerned. But so is Heal, really not bad. It's got 5 range, kind of similar to Anne on White Mage. And it's only got 1 turn cooldown, and as you saw earlier, it healed Elisa for 8,000 on crit. So really very good single target. It's not much to say other than it's really awesome. Surging Root, this is actually quite an amazing ability, and this will be kind of your off multi-target if you're not using your overcharge. This will increase the target action time by 20, but more importantly, it'll grant Constricting Root, which means they cannot move. They'll also lose 20% block, 20% dodge. Honestly, with the way that Aslan is built out, there's a good chance that it just won't matter, and they'll just die anyway. But in the off chance that they do live, they will be constricted. Again, this does work on Destrons and Krons, so you can definitely lock them in place. If you know Schwartz Destron is about to get up, you can literally lock him there, and that way he won't be able to do melee. He'll only be able to shoot just far weaker in his toolkit. Cast delay is probably about right. And then cooldown at 3 is not bad. You go in, You get a few Plague Tongue Strike after Surging Root, and you'll refresh it pretty fast. Tongs Trim, self buff. This is great. Takes no rage. It is on a high turn cooldown. You could get his mastery set, the reinforced attack pincers, to lower this down to 5, I believe. But he doesn't really need it. He will get the kills to lower the cooldown even at 9. And it's just it's a great buff. It's 3 turns of increased hit chance, crit chance, and attack damage, and he actually does need a decent amount of hit and crit added to his kit. So this is wonderful. And then Burrow, honestly, the way with how strong he is, I don't think you'd ever really need to use this, but who knows? Like I said, this is the king of beasts. You can make him into any way you want, and if you want to make him this like burrowing tunnel crab destroyer, you can definitely do it. For me, I think the only use case I can think of is him one-on-oneing Schwartz Destron and then getting him down to 1 into Berserk and then just walking away and burrowing and watching him die. That's just me, though. For his overcharge, and this is important because we are taking Awaken, so he will always be able to hit overcharge at any time. Important to note, his Castellate is 80, and I don't think we can really lower that, and if we can lower it, it's not by much. So this will put you through the roof on Castellate. But it is incredible damage. You'll notice 100% ESP, 100% Earth SP. So it's just bam in your face damage. And by the way, both root spells, Surging Root and Sprawling Root, are both fall type. So, that missing hit rate that he sometimes needs will be made up anytime you're using these root spells. These are really ridiculously powerful on him. On top of that, of course, damage increase by 100% for target and exposed. And should they live, they'll get Constricting Root, just like Surging Root. And on top of this, this is unavoidable. So it doesn't really matter if they've got 2,000% dodge. It's still going to connect and is a wonderful overcharge ability. So let's touch on the stats page real quick. So he's sitting at a hardy 4,000 plus health. This is not even like a tank version of him. This is just my version that I've designed, and it's centered around being an all-purpose pet, basically. But at 4,000 health, he's incredibly hard to kill. With Earth SP, we're going to be taking a mastery called Goddess of Abundance, which is going to multiply the effect that Earth SP has, so that it is approximately half of whatever your Earth SP amount is will be your block and block shred. So right now I have 250 Earth SP, so with Awaken he'll go straight to full, and that will give you 125% block and 125% block shred. Of course, you can change this with gearing if you wanted to. You could do Mudmane Reinforced Charm. It's going to push you into 400. My thing is, do you really need 200% block and 200% block shred? It just seems like a bit much, and even at 125%, let's say that he ends up fighting a Thought or something like that, and he happens to get a hit off. He still has 4,000 health and almost 3,000 armor, basically 80% armor reduction. This is an insane amount of defenses, and to be completely honest, you have to go out of your way to kill this guy. That's how ridiculous he is. But along the lines of gear, there's many options that you guys have. You could do Golden Feather and just do a couple more overcharges if you happen to really love his overcharge. Like I mentioned, you could do the Mudmane for increase. Let's say you're just low on Earth SP and you just want to throw that on there. That's fine. You could also go the full Earth route where Shiny Pincers, ESP power increases by applied Earth Masteries. I don't really recommend it, but it's certainly something that you could do. I have not modified his attack or his ESP because, quite frankly, he doesn't need to modify it, and it's just totally wild. Of course, all these stats are also being boosted by Beast Master, Brave Beast, all the trainings and stuff that Giselle gives. It is mandatory for her to be have monster taming since he's a legendary creature. I will say Probably his only weakness is that he is quite slow. And you'll notice that his AT is absolutely ridiculous. And I even toyed with the idea of a deep sea wading build. And it wasn't too bad, honestly. All right, and we have the mastery board. So real quick, we'll go through the class mastery. Shell armor, depending on your SP type, is what the resistance it's going to give you. It's going to give you 999, which sounds great. His earth resistance is 1428, and of course any kind of earth damage would get annihilated by this. On top of that, you'll remove debuffs like blind, basically first turn, no matter what, which sounds okay. Nothing stellar, right? Well, we're actually going to be taking a mastery called Moonlight Blade, and this is going to convert earth resistance into damage. So this set works very well with his class mastery. Again, he is a Earth SP user. That means that he's going to gain block at a 0.5 rate per 1 Earth SP. So again, if you're at 200 Earth SP for your maximum, you hit overcharge, you'll have 100% block, and you'll also have a 100% block shred from stone throwing. But right before we hit core offensive masteries, let's go over the growth phases. So unfortunately, I got Steel Beast on mine, and that was locked out for genetics. If I could, in case you guys get the chance, if you're going to use this board, I highly recommend that you do Hidden Wildness. It's going to give you hit, crit, block, dodge on a level that is completely insane. It's already insane for him, so no worries there. I took adaptive training. As you can see, defense and basic really capped out, attack basically capped out, so I thought it was pretty necessary for his build. And then, of course, the only one you have to take, or I highly, highly recommend, would be Inrush training, so that he can go immediately. But honestly, besides Inrush training, either of these two you could convert into whatever the heck that you wanted to do. So for core offensive masteries, again, we're going to be taking stone throwing. The block shred is just irreplaceable. We're going to be taking Apex Predator. The mastery set bonus is actually not that good. If you take a target that's higher health than you out of action, you'll gain excitement. You're not going to run into too many targets that are above 4,000 health in general. Predator is going to be basically his life drain. So when he actually does get in the thick of it, he'll take damage, he'll heal it up, he'll take damage, he'll heal it up. It's pretty awesome. Along with Predator's eye, sense of smell, and sense of hearing, this is going to increase his dodge, crit, and hit by 15%. Hit chance will go up by 20%, as long as you're targeting a enemy that has lower health than your own. Again, he's got 4,000 with lifesteal, so this all just synergizes really well. He is a frontline fighter, so the life drain really gets more kick. And then, of course, we're also going to be taking Beast King for our King of Beasts build. This is a great mastery set, and of course also works really well with Hidden Wildness. This is going to give you a flat damage increase of 2% per beast mastery, as well as damage taken decreased by 2%. Really can't go wrong with this. Charisma is nice. He is a frontline fighter. You will see him up front, even if you don't want him to be up front. And so he'll act as that extra bonus to stats for all of his teammates. Then he'll have Eye of the King, King's Sense of Smell, and King's Sense of Hearing, which is kind of like a similar effect to the Predator set. The difference in this one is that you have to be attacking a target of lower rank. So, of course, Aslan is legendary, so for the most part, you will always have this on, and it's just amazing bonus stats. For the core defensive masteries, we're actually going to be taking Perfect Carapace. This is just nuts. They finally decided to make a mastery set for regular exercise, and I was wondering when this would happen. I just didn't think it would be on Crabmits, but this just sends health, armor, resistance through the roof. Body training, regular exercise, rough skin, plus solid Carapace, which then converts any beast masteries into health, which then follows well into the whole Hidden Wildness and Beast and Crabmit abilities. And It's really just nuts. This is what gives him that 4,000 health. Without this, I really would not have much. Actually, it'd probably be at his base, which is 1777. So this is literally giving him 2,300 health. Somewhere around 1,400 armor, 1,300 armor, 800 resistance, and doesn't make him indestructible, but pretty damn close. And then we're also going to be taking Goddess of Abundance. This is what's actually multiplying the block and block shred. So normally as an Earth SP user, this would be 0.25 per 1 Earth SP. So, an example, 100 Earth SP would only be 25% block, and this makes it 50% along with the block shred, along with increasing your total maximum, which is obviously very important for raising that value even higher. And I just have a quick defensive showcase here, just because I love including this. So this is going to be mostly because of Goddess of Abundance, and that's going to be what's taking his block into absolutely stellar levels. But you also see here with Rock Castle, the numbers are going to get completely shredded. And although I didn't include this into the final version of the build, if you are going to run like a tank version, I highly recommend it because anything that's lower, any damage that comes in that's lower than his armor is going to get halved by Rock Castle. Not that, taking 48 damage is really going to be the end of the world, but even right here, under 300, this would normally be, I don't know, 500, 600 or so. So just good to know, and yeah, he's sitting at I want to say 185 block right now because of everything. And finally, for core offensive masteries, we are going to be taking Awaken. Of course, this is going to give you instant overcharge and all that block and block shred. We are also going to be taking Argonaut. This time, not for luck like we did for Gold Tongue. Aslan doesn't really need luck, and honestly, he doesn't really need maximum SP either, but it's darn good to have. That block and block shred is what really separates him from many of the other beasts. And so we are looking for that maximum SP increase, because that's what's going to give you your cap for block and block shred. So Argonaut's going to help out. Also, it has great synergy with Awaken. You can see Limit Break there, Overcharge. But along the lines of increasing that maximum SP, Limit Break will be there for you. Goddess of Abundance. So that's going to give you 150 to work with. But let's say you didn't want to take that path. Again, you could do Mundane Reinforced Charm and use that as your maximum SP. Or you could go total overkill and go 400 Earth SP. That's completely up to the player, and I highly recommend you guys to play around with this build. He has so many different options, and it's unreal. All right, and so we have the King of Beasts showcase. So Aslan's been fighting for a while now. He's down to his last awaken. Most abilities are on cooldown. And because they're on cooldown, I'm actually going to go ahead and kill 2 of these clowns just to refresh his ultimate. You see this massive pack right here, and I just want to be able to basically just one-shot it. So, kills the 2 clowns. He resets his ultimate cooldown timer, and so this is on the final version of the build. This version here is incredibly powerful because of all the crit chance. So anybody that's even running Keen Sense, I don't think it matters anymore. It will be 100% crit, 100% aim, 0% block. So he uses his ultimate. Of course, the only person that lives is Wei. He is going to get Constricting Root along with Bleeding. Or maybe not Bleeding. But anyway, so Impulse Fields triggers for Wei, of course, and Giselle follows up with fire support. However, of course, Wei has lightning reflexes, but with pincer attack with Beast, he's basically able to follow up with searching roots and basically kill that entire pack in one, which is totally nuts. And remember, because he used his ultimate, he's back down to 0, but you can just reapply Awaken. Now, this is his final Awaken, but for what it's worth, if you've gone through 3 of his Awakens, you've probably killed 50 or so units. So Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And I do recommend that if you do get that far down on Awaken, for his last turn, just do full overcharge and only use surging roots if it comes to it. Um, so I'm gonna rebuff here, and I'm looking over here at Flamecron, and what I'd like to do is actually just hit these two, so basically deal damage to Flamecron, get one shot, one kill to get up again, and then use these two as a battery recharge for Catharsis. Um, so of course, we kill the clown, we get the one shot, one kill. Unfortunately, it does trigger emergency drive on Flamecron, so he automatically gets up, and unfortunately, it does break the roots as well from auto restoration, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. So we're gonna use our batteries to recharge here, and this is pretty neat because Flamecron's gonna do auto punishment from the direction that he's at the moment. And notice Predator hasn't gone off yet. It appears as if Predator is like one of the final abilities, kind of like Corpse Sweeper. So he's going to take, I don't know, 200 or 300 damage. His max is like 4,200. Then Predator is going to trigger. So that's that, staying on the front line that I mentioned to you guys. And so now he's back to full health. Flamecron ran as he should, because I would run from this dude. That's for damn sure. Of course, he has 100. He gets auto suppressive fired again. He gets in both hits, which brings it down to 1286. And it's too bad because he does have a counterattack, but the auto suppressive, I think, activated before he got there. He's going to attack, run away, attack again. I don't know what this random clown is doing, but yeah, that's just how insane this dude is. All right, guys, that wraps up this video. This is the first thing I think that should be nerfed, and I don't mean flower Crabmit because that would mean all the Crabmits should be nerfed in some form or way. I think the kit is appropriate. He is the leader of the Crabmits. He is the highest level beast that you can get in this game at this current time. So it works for sure. I think the problem is stone throwing. Being able to take Zhao's Eye from 148% block to 0, that's not right. That's just not appropriate to me. And however they want to nerf it is fine. But stone throwing is definitely too powerful in its current version, and you can replicate this to any Earth ESP user. That said, I am still working towards the Giselle video, and I am still looking for a good pet tank. And I'm still comparing all those, and I don't want you guys to take this as this is the pet tank. For sure, Flower Crabmit is insane, and he's just an all-purpose pet. He is the king of beasts. He's the strongest all around, and I just wanted to show how strong he really is. That said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is definitely a particularly special one just because of how insane he is. To be on Cruel Challenge and just mow through stuff like it's absolutely nothing. Just, oh man, totally nuts. But if you guys enjoyed the video, please like or subscribe. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube, and until next time.